Hi everyone, I've had a lot of requests from you to create a video showing you how to apply for indefinite leave to remain long-term residents. So this video will apply to those who have been given limited leave to remain as parents of British child, and also for those partners who have partners of British citizen or settled person under the 10-year route. So if you were given the limited leave to remain in 2012, and this is going to be your 10th year in the UK, and you've had no gaps at all in your residence, meaning when you had your limited leave to remain 10 years ago, from 10 years ago, you applied straight away and there was no refusal, or there was no gap where the visa expired and you didn't apply until a month later or 2 months later. Okay, so this is for very straightforward indefinite leave to remain applications for those who have resided in the UK for at least 10 years. Okay, so let's dive in. So I will show you that it actually takes about 30 minutes to complete the application if you have all the information in front of you. And so firstly, you would know where to look. So you'd say, how do I get to the indefinite leave to remain application online? So you would just click apply for in. I would Google it and I would say apply for indefinite leave to remain UK long residence. Okay, and the first one is a solicitor's website. So you go onto the government website, which is this one. And again, read the information in front of you, okay, about eligibility, how you're eligible. But I'm sure you know what you're doing already. You know that you've been in the UK for 10 years, and you now want, and you think you qualify for indefinitely to remain. But if you're unsure, ask, consult with a solicitor or an immigration advisor before you waste the over £2,000 in immigration fees. Okay, so but for those who are sure and but you just not really doesn't really know, who don't know how to get to the application forms, well, this is the page for you. Okay, so read it very carefully, and then it has the fee as well, 2,400. It's very, very expensive. So that's why I don't just advise anybody applying for indefinite to remain. If you've noticed, my videos don't show the indefinitely to remain, because if you don't get it correctly, then you lose the 2,500. But for those who are confident and unsure that they can apply for indefinitely to remain, then this video is for you. Okay, so now we click on apply for indefinitely to remain, which is this one. And okay, apply online for indefinitely to remain. This click here. Okay, so apply for indefinitely to remain, and you click here. And it says before you apply, you need to read the guidance about eligibility, how to make your application. Now, I will create another video explaining the guidance to accompany this video, to make sure that before you actually submit your application, you know what you're doing and you've got all the requirements sorted out. Okay, so here we are. Start new application. Yes. So just follow me along and just see how I'm completing it. And this is going to be the information that we're going to be recording is all, it's not real names, okay? So just made up names, made up national insurance number, made up address, and so on, because this is just to show you what the questions you are facing when you complete the long residence application form. Okay, let's get started. Sorry, no, we click no. So firstly, you need to register an email because that's where they're going to send all the information. So just 1 second. So I have already confirmed my email address. So you need to create an email address and then create the confirm that the email address is for the applicant. And then this is the next question they've asked me, do you have immigration advisor? Because you're completing it yourself, then you click no. And then check your answer and then proceed. Okay, so this is where you enter your name. Again, this is a made-up name, okay? So no, and then yes. So you have to give your phone number. Provide your phone number, yes. For use whilst in the UK. So this is again made up address and made up residence. So I always put 01 2011. I'd say male. I would say single. Okay. So if you're married or if your partner, if you're divorced, married, separated. So the situation that I am completing is a single mother who is unmarried but has a British child. Okay. And then you know how to complete these details here because it just asks where you were born, your nationality, your country of birth, your place of birth. Just place of birth. I can't think of a Mauritius town, so I've just put Mauritius. And my date of birth would be again a made up date of birth. Do you have a valid passport? Yes. And then I have a passport number here. So don't be scared of completing an application and getting the wrong answer because you have an opportunity to correct it later. It will prompt you when to correct the answers. So 2020, so 2015, I'd say, and then 2020. Yes. So if you have home office reference numbers, it would be a lot quicker for the home office to check your information if you can provide them with your reference case ID. So give them and get them ready. Okay, so maybe 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Time in the UK, I would say time in the UK will be 10 years and 10 months. So date you first enter the UK, you can get it from your passport. So make sure you have that ready. So I'm just going to say 2011. And this relates to EA national, European national. So if that applies to you, then you say yes. If not, then click no. And then family member of an EA national exercising treaty rights, you'd say no. Time spent in crown dependency, no. Time spent outside the UK. Now, time spent outside the UK will be the time where you went back to your home country for a vacation or you've been abroad for again for work, for example. But you need to list the dates where you've been. Okay, so you check your passports, it's all in there, and you need to be prepared to insert everything here because that will tell them whether or not you qualify for the residence, whether there's been gap. You've gone over the residence requirements. Okay, so where did you spend time outside the UK? You'd say outside the United States of America. That and then 02, 2016. Again, this is made up dates just to show you. Oh, say 16, 02, 2016, and then you just say holiday or vacation or whatever reason, visit family. Okay, I'm not going to enter another time spent outside the UK because this is just to show you what the questions are. So I'm just going to say no. Now, this question here is a little bit tricky. Your social, cultural, family ties. Do you have any family in your country of birth, nationality, or any other country where you have lived for more than 5 years? So if you still have a family in your home country, then you click yes. And the home office asks you to list their names. So I do not expect you to list all your family. Like, for example, you have your 5 sisters and 4 brothers. Don't list them. Don't list them all. I wouldn't recommend them. I don't know why this is not mandatory, but I would just list the closest family you have in your home country. Like, for example, parents. So you would write your parents' names. Okay, so I'm not going to write anything here. So I'm just going to write parents' names, and then where they live, like the town, for example. So town where they live, and then your relationship with them, and then you say parent, and you say regular contact through messenger or video call, something like that. Okay, so that's what you would do. Again, this is they won't. I can proceed without stating all this. Okay, because if you click no, they would ask for. Or just 1 second. I'll just cut this. Okay, and if you click no, they still ask why. Explain why you do not have any family in any of these countries. If you do not have any family in those countries, then you say they passed away. I'm the only child, and my parents have passed away. Simple as that. But otherwise, if you still have contact with them, you still have family, close family, then you list. But I would not recommend you to list all the uncles and the aunties and so on. So just the very closest. And also, it's the same with friends. Okay, so name of friends, name of 2 friends or 1 friend, uh, something like that, and then town, and then so on. Okay, So it's the same as what you put here on the parents. Um, if you click no, you can also click no. Just say okay. So I'm just gonna cut it. You just say no. I have not been in touch with any of my friends since coming to the UK, something like that, or I've lost touch, or I, didn't really don't have the contact or something like that. So anyway, I suppose I'll leave that there. And then, are you part of any social groups, or do you have any cultural ties in your country of birth? This could include social networks or connection to any of these countries. If you say no, just say since moving to the UK, I hardly. What is it? A second. Since moving to the UK, I have formed something like I have formed my own network, my own network in this country. Something, just write something, explain that. If yes, then you say what it is, what it is. So, do you have any children? I'm going to say yes, okay, to show you what the questions are in terms of if you say you have a child. So I'd say yes, and I'd say okay, and then country of nationality, I would say British citizen, because if I'm and then 16. Okay, you can say so you could say yeah, she lives with me, or if she lives with another person, then you click other additional children. No. Then you asked about previous visa. So do you have a previous visa, entry clearance, leave to remain? You had to prove your knowledge of English, and you'd say yes. Okay. So tell us your previous visa, limited leave to remain, whatever visa you have, live in the UK test, and you just say yes, because this is a requirement, live in the UK test. So you'd say, again, I'm just going to copy what they have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 4, 6, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you enter your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7. You enter your life in the UK test. Okay. Your employment. Are you currently employed? And you'd say yes. So if you're self-employed, you tick self-employed. If you're unemployed, you tick you're retired student. So commonly you'd say yes. So job title, I would say administrative assistant, ABC Limited. This is a UK address. Say no, okay, it's a locality. Choose an address. Okay, so any other employment, you'd say no. If you have, for example, you have a part-time job and you have additional employment, then you need to add it to show that you are working very hard. You're very hard working person. Okay, so now you have immigration history. So you need to disclose everything. Do not leave everything out when they're asking for this type of questions, because if you do, if you leave something out and they find out, then you will be banned. You will be refused and banned from making an application, because they take it very seriously that you've not told them anything that you're supposed to tell. So you say no if you've never had any of it, and then convictions and other penalties. You read through that. If you haven't, then no. I have not, then no. Click terrorist activities, organization, and views. No. Click extremist organizations and views. Person of good character. Have you been part of? So you read that properly, okay? And then the answer is no, but you have to read, have you ever engaged in activities and so on. So don't just tick no, no, no. Read it properly and before you do. So this question, have you ever had a biometric residence permit? You should have. Okay, so then you say yes. You just say so. Now here you have the opportunity to change your answers. If, for example, you made a mistake, or for example, you're sick of stopping and starting and stopping, for example, and you just want to get through the application form to make sure that you know what the questions are. So you can just like make an information up, like if you don't have the address of your employer, for example, okay, then you just type any address, and so you can get through and then change it later. And if you want to change it, then you just click here, change, and then you change the address and you put like something like flat uh, one. Oh, I think this one you can change, because this is a address. You change address, enter address manually, so just flat one. There you go. Or the telephone number is wrong, so you say, oh, it's not 0207, it's 0238. Okay, so you have opportunity to change the answers. Okay, guys. So here, these are the questions for the indefinite leave to remain application, long-term residence. And then you click continue. Now, other reasons for wanting to stay in the UK, you can either tell them you have other reasons for wanting to stay in the UK if you do have. If you do not have, and they already know that you've been in the UK for how many years, and for 10 years, and you are entitled to apply for indefinite to remain, then you just say, I don't have any other reasons, and then click continue. So it asks, so these are the documents, says, so this is a list of documents: passport, all passports, current biometric residence, evidence of relationship with your daughter, document showing the immigration status of your child, so such as passport, yes, and then that's it. So then it says providing documents. Read this. It says you must provide your documents after you submit your application. Can be original or copies, but if you do go to the you do not need to send any physical documents to the Home Office for UK visas unless you are advised to do so. Okay, so if you don't provide the mandatory requirements, then your documents, your application will be refused, and the fees, you won't get the fees, except they deduct the admin fees. Anyway, if for any reasons you can't provide any documents, what you need to do is you need a cover letter. Okay, it's cover letter explaining why you can't provide those documents that they've asked you. Like, for example, you can provide an expired passport because you haven't had a chance to renew it, then submit it, but explain why you can't provide the specific documents. So then you click, you save and continue. And then again, you have opportunity to change your application. Now, what I would like you to what I'd like to show you is if you still think that you made a mistake and you really want to double check your application, you just click on the application here, application, and then it takes you to your answers, and here you can change. Okay, you can change. Okay, let's continue. Uh, okay, so I'm supposed to resend the, oh, that was the declaration, by the way. So I have to declare, okay, so continue, blah, blah, blah. And I made it, I need to verify my 1 second, just verify the thing and then I can proceed. Okay. Okay, so I have verified it. So I'll continue. So here we have the declaration. Okay, so once you go back, once you proceed with the declaration, you can't go back, you can't return to your application and change your answers. So just be very, very careful. So here you need to download this declaration and you need to complete, sorry, it's taking a bit of time. You need to complete part 1. So you're consenting for the Home Office to verify your application information. And this is from the applicant, which is, that's you. Okay. And then you need to insert your name and address, your postcode, and then you sign and you date. Now, if you have a partner and you have a joint account, bank account, joint utility bills, and so on, then your partner will also have to sign part 2, which is consent for the Home Office to verify third-party information. And if you can see, you see the joint owner. The joint owner should sign the following declaration. So part 2 will need to be signed, and you need to insert again the name and address of the joint owner, the postcode, signature, and the date. And if you also have a third party for some reason as a financial sponsor, then that third party also needs to sign part 3. Okay, and insert their address, postcode, and signature and date. If you don't have a financial sponsor, then part 3, you don't need to submit, you don't need to have it signed. If you don't have, if you are a single person and do not have a joint account holder with banks, in the banks, and you own, it's only your name, then you don't need, again, you don't need part 2, you only need part 1. Okay, so that's it. So you tick here and then you save and continue to do the verification check. But for this purpose, I am not going to proceed with this because if it does, then this gets to the my information will get submitted to the Home Office and everything's all made up. So I would not do that, and therefore I will leave it here. When you click save and continue, this will take you to then the pay. So you need to pay for your fees. But if you want somebody to have a look at your application and on the documents that you have, then just make sure that you do that. You consult with an expert before you click pay, because once you click pay, that's it. You can't change your answers. You can't go back and ask for refund. You might, but then it will take a long time for the money to be returned. Okay. So that's it, guys. And if you have any questions, you know where to email us, help@doityourselfimmigration.co.uk, and we will reply to your emails. Also, if you want help with your cover letter for immigration, especially for this application. You can't just submit without a cover letter because you need to explain certain things that that might not be straightforward. And so I would always recommend to insert a cover letter with your application to explain to the Home Office the things that are not obvious on the form. And we do a cover letter service, very cheap and affordable. Let us know, and we'll send you a template, and we'll help you with preparing your cover letter. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.